Hello, my name is Angelina and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my October TBR. First off, a little disclaimer. If you hear any noise in the background, there is construction going on across the street. So, yeah. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I can't really do anything about it. So, as for the books that I plan to read in October, I am planning to read some more spookier books, some mysteries, some thrillers, horrors, which isn't really my genre, so I'm not incorporating too many of those, but I'm going to try. But first, I want to talk about a couple of library books that I do have out. First up, we have The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. By the time you see this video, I should have finished The Kiss Quotient. But yeah, these are due back soon, so I will be finishing these. But these are adult romances. The first one follows our main character who has autism, and she basically hires this guy to teach her how to have sex, how to be in a relationship, all those things. So, Bride Test. I don't know too much about it because I haven't read it yet, but I believe you follow our two main characters. You follow this woman who lives in Vietnam and this guy who lives in California, and the guy's mother hires our heroine to fly from Vietnam to California so that she can get him to fall in love with her. But that's basically all I know. So, these are two that I will be most likely reading first this month. The next book that I have out, I have as an audiobook from Libby, and that is Circe by Madeline Miller. My good friend Ola, who I will link her TikTok below, but she is one of the biggest fans of the song Achilles, and she got me to read it, and I really enjoyed it, and she wanted to hear my opinions on Circe, so I'm about halfway through it. I don't really know how to really describe it, but you basically just follow Circe and her life and the choices she makes. So yeah, I'm also currently listening to that. And the last book that I have out from the library is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I have seen so many people on TikTok talk about this, and I finally decided that I would try it. I have the ebook out from my library through Libby, but I know absolutely nothing about this, so I don't really know what to say about it. Since it's October, I will start off with some of the physical spooky books that I have. The first one being The Shining by Stephen King. So I have never read or watched The Shining. I know pretty much nothing about it except that it happens at a hotel. So yeah, I do know this is a very popular book, but I have managed to not really ever hear anything about it, so I'm excited to figure out what all the hype about this book is, and yeah, this is going to be one of the spooky books that I will be reading this month. Next, I have The Lying Game by Ruth Ware, and there's not actually anything on this book or on the back that says what this book is about. I did get it from the used bookstore. I know that it was obviously from Reese's Book Club, but I decided to pick this book up because the nice lady Erica, who is one of the employees at my favorite used bookstore, recommended this to me. And I just know that Ruth Ware writes mystery books, so I'm excited to give this one a try. I have read two other Ruth Ware books in the past, and they were fine. I believe I gave them both 3 stars, but this was a personal recommendation, so I'm excited to give this one a try. So this next book, Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer, is actually a nonfiction book, but it sounds scary to me, and it's all about this author's personal adventures climbing Mount Everest, I believe. Yeah. And it's all about his harrowing journey climbing it and oxygen depletion and all that stuff, and just being in this situation because it sounds scary to me. So I'm going to count this as one of my spooky reads, but it is nonfiction. But it sounds scary, so we're going to count it. And the next book, which I believe is like a thriller or a suspenseful book, but it is the classic The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I believe this follows our main character, and he wrongfully goes to prison, and then he wants revenge. But one of my goals for this year was to read more classics, and I'm way behind on that, so I decided to pick up one. This is a very chunky one though, so we will see. Moving on from those more spookier books that I have a YA fantasy, Dark Shores by Danielle N. Jensen, and I don't know much about this except that it's a pirate book, and I love pirates, I love pirate books, I love books set at sea, and so when I saw this at the used bookstore, I had to, of course, pick it up. So, don't know too much about it, except that it's about pirates. And the tagline of it says, "In a world divided by meddlesome gods and treacherous oceans, only the mariner possesses the knowledge to cross the endless seas. But they have one mandate: East must never meet West." Don't really know what that means, but I will be reading this. I do have another classic, modern classic, I don't know, The Da Vinci Code by Jan Brown. I'm also not sure about anything about this. I know it's always referenced in like pop culture and stuff, but I have also managed to never hear anything about this. So I know absolutely nothing except that it's really popular, and yeah, I don't know if this is like a spookier thriller mystery book, but I have it and I kind of planned on reading it this month. Not for any particular reason, just because it's been on my shelf for a very long time. So the next book that I have is also a recommendation from my friend Ola, and that is A Woman Is No Man by Ataf Rum. My friend Ola really loves this book, so I wanted to pick it up and give it a try. I do know that it has dual timelines, but I kind of want to go into this one blind. So yeah. The next book that I want to read this month is Sold on Monday by Christina McMorris. I know this book is sad, but I don't know nothing about this. Obviously, if you've been on this channel or you know me, I like going into my books blind, so it's been like 2 hours now, but if the angle or anything changed, it's because my camera battery died, so I had to charge it, but we're back. So let me finish out with the last couple of books that I want to read in October. One of the books that I want to read in October is Cassandra Speaks by Elizabeth Lesser. This is a collection of feminist essays about like classic stories but retold from women's point of view, and I picked this up from my used bookstore because I was volunteering there and I was working in the feminist section, and this one, the cover really drew my eye, and I haven't read many essay collections, so I'm excited to give this one a try. I also picked up a contemporary novel, Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. I haven't read anything yet by Nicola Yoon, but this one sounds interesting. It's about our main character, Evie, who starts seeing people in relationships, and she starts seeing how these relationships end. And then when she ends up taking up dance classes, she meets our hero and starts to catch feelings for him, but because she has this sort of ability to see how relationships end, she doesn't really want to pursue any sort of relationship. And yeah, I'm very interested in this book. But yeah, The next book that I have is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This book follows Brie, and I believe she has a song that goes viral for the wrong reasons, and she's dealing with the repercussions of this. And that's kind of all I know, but I really enjoyed The Hate U Give when it came out a couple years ago, so I'm excited to read this one, and then hopefully Concrete Rose, which is Angie Thomas's third book, soon. But yeah, I want to get to this one this month. And for the last book that I want to read in the month of October, I have Hinge by Natalie Zena Walsach. I've heard so many good things about this, and it's actually a 5-star prediction of mine. So I believe that this book follows our main character who works for a villain, and she ends up getting hurt by these superheroes. And she kind of wants revenge, I believe. And that's kind of all I know, but it sounds super intriguing, and I've heard so many good things about this. But I also feel like this is very underhyped, since I've only seen good reviews of it. But yeah, I'm super excited for this one, so I will most definitely be getting to this one in October. The next book that I want to read this month is not one that I own physically just yet, but that is Steel Striker by Marie Lu, which is book 2 and the conclusion to the Sky Hunter duology, and this just recently came out, but I'm hoping to buddy read it with my friend Ola, but I'm excited to see how this duology concludes. And last but not least, I have an arc that I want to read this month, and that is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. But this is a short little horror novella. I should have included it with all my horror books, or more mysterious books, but anyways, I believe this is a short little ghost story. I don't know too much about it, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I just got approved for the arc. So I definitely want to get to that one this month. But that is all of the books that I want to read in October. Tell me if you have read any of these books. What are your thoughts on them? Tell me what you're reading this month. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!